January 1991, it lasted into August of that year in Guangqiang County, Shandong Province, during which no child was allowed to be born. Local women were forced to have an abortion, no matter how many children they conceived and how many months they were pregnant. The first child of the newlywed couple was not allowed either. Babies who were accused of lying were strangled to death. The streets and alleys of the county were covered with banners, the most famous of which read, "I would rather have no descendants, but give peace of mind to the party." Despite all this, the Chinese Communist Party has no intention of apologizing to the Chinese people. On May 31, the Communist Party's Politburo also announced that it would gradually postpone retirement age without providing any details. The postponement of the retirement age is a reflection of the country's aging population and lack of labor force. According to UN data, China's elderly population is likely to reach 60% by around 2025. The Chinese government is now trying to promote procreation as a global act. The official media proclaims that having a baby is a family and a national affair, calling on people to have a baby in the country. When the wife of China's most famous
Ano po yun?
reposted a poster on a social media account
Kuya,
about policy
nahanap si ate.
to the caption of that finish the next step. It was then posted to Johnny Depp's movie studio.
Ano yung ito yung document ano po? Bakit sa mga?
Ano po yun?
Hindi naman na to. Parang wala akong itang laman eh. Mga associate mo yung associate. Ba't parang wala akong itang laman? Mga associate ko. Ano?
Yun eh.
Hindi, iba eh. Voice yan, PowerPoint yan. O baka may nalay ito nito. Data ko eh. Data. Oo, ayaw mo ba eh. Data mo. Anak ko talaga na kayo lang. Ano naman yun? Baka hindi naman.
Wala na laman?
Dalawa na lang naman. Ginawa ko lang yung
Ano ba?
Malaki?
Kwarto na. Wala naman. O baka may nalay.
kupon ko dito. Ano yung mga ito?
Talaga yun.
Pero hanap mo siya at kung masaya
Wala na isa na Malboro.
sabihin na hindi ka na pipilit pa ang dahil ko lang sa kanya. Huwag kang paluhain at talagang ganyan. Saan natigil ang pagiging totoo sa tuwing mababanggit ng mahal mo? Ba't di mo inamin na merong iba? Ako ang kaya pero isip mo siya. Ako masaya kasabihin
Kasi ito lang isa. Ha? Wala naman talaga? Hindi wala?
Ano ba to yung PowerPoints na to?
Ay, hindi yung PowerPoint. Yung ilang yung answer sheet para sa kanila. Answer sheet lang. Hindi dapat yun.
Kaya sa gitna, basahin ko muna to.
Answer sheet lang kailangan natin. Para yung mag-exercise kanila.
Answer sheet, doon nyo nilalagay yung folder. Yung answer na. Yung PowerPoint, buksan ko yung ito. Sayang. Waterfall.
Hindi yan.
Dito?
Hindi yan.
Yung wala.
Dala mo sila. Yan, i-text ka lang si Ted. Hindi ko lang yung forward siguro. Mabasa ko lang sa'yo, ha?
Patayin ko muna
Wala talaga.
Wala. Patayin ko muna yung aking aking
Wi-Fi.
wifi.
Hindi ko lang yung forward siguro.
Yeah.
Tapos paper, wala ko mismo.
Pasa mo lang kasi sa akin.
Wala ko sa October.
Friends naman tayo sa Pasa mo na lang.
Forward ko sa'yo, ha, mamaya. Alam mo talagang nadulo ko yan. Ako, wala pa rin.
The Chinese Communist Party now recognizes the possible. Recently, the three major communications network operators in China all released their subscriber figures as of April. These figures have raised questions about China's actual 5G development. According to the data, China Mobile has 205.3 million 5G subscribers, China Telecom has 117.8 million subscribers, and China Unicom has 98.6 million subscribers, which means the total number of Chinese 5G subscribers is about 420 million. This is an increase of about 220 million, or 110% from the beginning of the year. As Beijing claims, China's 5G penetration rate has now reached 26%, making it the country with the largest 5G network penetration rate and the largest number of 5G users in the world. While everyone is cheering for the boom of the 5G network in China, a secret has been unintentionally released. The above data shows that the combined number of users of the three operators has reached 420 million. However, cumulative 5G handset sales in China are only about 270 million units as of April, according to the National ICT Academy. As we all know, there are three conditions that need to be met in order to enjoy 5G networks: a 5G smartphone, an established 5G network, and a 5G package provided by telecom providers. Therefore, this could mean that 150 million, or 35.7% of the Chinese users, are actually not using 5G. Why is this? We hear from Mr. Wang, a friend who lives in mainland China, who explains. Many telecom providers are trying to get as many users to upgrade to 5G as possible in order to popularize 5G networks, which is its state goal in Beijing. However, they did not do it in a conventional way. The 5G's first launch required dramatically reduce the speed of the 4G network, and then claimed that users that 5G network would be faster and less traffic. Attracting users was high-speed internet demand. On the other hand, providers continue to promote 5G packages by cold calls, where the cost of it is private plans because of the cost of the tester. For those who insisted on not using 5G, the sales staff will ask you whether they're willing to upgrade to 5G for free in order to access the services in the future and retain the same plan for now. They were counted as 5G users as well. This is probably why there are 150 million people who do not have 5G phones but are considered 5G users. However, false user data has related to the apparent prosperity of 5G in China, but is more relevant to whether China 5G itself is a problem or a scam. In recent years, 5G has been hyped up so much in China that people are beginning to imagine what life will be like when the 5G era arrives, from virtual driving to smart homes to remote virtual surgery. Moreover, with favored policy and support from Beijing, Huawei, the largest 5G Chinese manufacturer, is also advertised as a national pride. According to Chinese media reports, China has now built the world's largest 5G network with about 810,000 5G base stations in operation, accounting for more than 70% of the world's share, making it a worthy pioneer of 5G networks worldwide. Undeniably, 5G technology is certainly an improvement compared to 4G. It can provide higher bandwidth, higher capacity, lower latency, and faster wireless services. But the disadvantages of 5G technology is also very obvious. There are two types of 5G technology. One is slightly better than the existing 4G, called the sub-6 5G, which is now the most widely commercialized 5G. There's another type called the millimeter wave 5G, which can provide greater capacity, faster network speed than the sub-6 5G, but has not yet been commercialized. There are some even more obvious problems with 5G. Sub-6 5G compared to 4G, due to the higher frequency used, has a shorter transmission distance, resulting in smaller transmission rate, faster penetration, and can easily be blocked by obstacles. Even within the same building, there will be a relatively large gap in network speed in different places. Similarly, the transmission distance of 5G base stations is only 1/3 that of 4G. To achieve the same coverage of 4G, more stations need to be installed in other areas. Generally, the number of 5G base stations is installed in the same area, with 5 to 8 times that of 4G. For example, Shanghai Linheng District is China's first gigabit 5G demonstration area, with 26 base stations per square kilometer. According to the plan, about 50 base stations per square kilometer need to be installed to achieve full coverage. The second disadvantage of 5G is that the construction cost of stations is very high. Although the cost of one station has gone from 600,000 yen to 400,000 yen, it is still 55% higher than that of 4G base stations. A report from a Chinese statistical agency shows that it will take at least 5 years for operators to build a mature 5G network in China, which means covering most medium-sized cities, and the investment will be hundreds of billions of dollars. If it wants to be as popular as the 4G network, it will take at least $1 trillion. What's worse is that the telecom providers have not yet fully recovered from their investments in the 4G network construction. In the 4G era, the cumulative investment of China Mobile alone reached 450 billion yen. If they wish to upgrade to the high-band millimeter wave 5G, which has a base station coverage of only about 100 meters, the investment will reach more than 10 trillion for constructing stations alone. And aside to take out the bank, the operator's profits will never be enough to repay the investment. Data shows the number of 5G base stations built in more than 2 years is only comparable to the 4G base stations built in the first year during the 4G era. This can only explain the difference in terms of investment. The third shortcoming of 5G is that its equipment consumes a huge amount of electricity, resulting in exceptionally high running costs. According to data provided by China Tower, the average power consumption of a 5G outdoor base station is about 3.8 kilowatts, more than 3 times that of a 4G base station. Some experts estimate that if 5G achieves 4G coverage, the cost of electricity alone for operators will be 6 to 12 times that of 4G. According to the latest data from the GSMA, China now has more than 800,000 5G stations, assuming that 3 major carriers turn on all the completed 5G stations and that all 5G base stations are shared among the 3 carriers. It will cost about 19.2 billion yuan a year in electricity bills alone. Considering that the sharing rate of stations is now 80%, the actual cost for the 3 carriers will be higher than this. Such a high operational cost has already forced the operators to shut down 5G base stations reliably. Currently, many 5G stations in China are shut down from 98 while the providers agree that 5G base stations are smart and will automatically shut down or reduce capacity when users are low in order to save energy. The chairman of one of the 3 main carriers, admitted in an interview that this was a desperate move to save electricity. If the planned 2 million base stations were to be completed, it will cost 24 billion, which is 2 times more cost than the project. From data, the more stations are built, the more loss for the providers. If full 5G coverage is achieved, electricity costs alone will be many times the operator's current annual profits. Even if only 1% of the country is covered, electricity costs will be more than enough to bankrupt the 3 major operators, which means 5G is not so sustainable. From the financial reports of the 3 carriers, you can see how they've been suffering from the costs. Even the largest among them, China Mobile, could not bear the costs of 5G equipment. It is currently integrating 5G to the original 4G network. They could not establish an independent 5G network. What about the consumers? Do they really find 5G attractive? First of all, due to the imperfection of 5G infrastructure, coverage of 5G is far from universal in the user's experience. Hello everyone and welcome to China Observer. I'm your host, Peter. Today we're going to change up the presentation style of our videos a little bit, and the question we'll be exploring today is how have the young people of China been working nowadays? Now, to do this, we'll first need to introduce the second largest e-commerce company in China, which is called yeah, your name, I know, so for now, let's just call it PIN. Now, PIN was founded in September of 2015, and it's currently listed on NASDAQ, and it has over 600 billion active buyers. Second only to Taobao, that allows buyers and users to purchase goods at a lower price through a food buy. As the slogan says, together, more savings, more fun. The establishment relies to some extent on the low prices of cheap profit packages, and has therefore been subject to criticism for quite some time. Recently, there's been even more news and drama surrounding the company. That is, a 22-year-old employee who was leaving work in the early mornings of December 29th suddenly collapsed and died on their home. On the evening of January 9th, it also reported a case of an employee committing suicide by jumping off a building at his home in Changsha. Furthermore, on January 11th, an employee who was fired by PIN posted a video on Weibo with a photo of an ambulance picking up an employee from the company who had apparently fainted at work. The caption of the photo says, "The second in-world warrior has fallen." The person who posted this goes by the username Wang Taishi, said that back on January 7th, when he was still working, he saw an employee being carried out by 2 people to an ambulance. He swiftly took a photo through the window of the ambulance and sent it to a workplace social networking platform called
Beauty
Line.
15?
Now, what he didn't expect
Magkano?
was
Ay,
that
magkano?
in just a
Number
short
po.
period of time, this photo became a hot search. He was then approached by the company's supervisor.
0948-241.
I think we all know by now that
0948
China
241.
loves to shame Chinese companies
6.
and CCP for that matter.
0948
expose them
241
Diba?
6484.
0948 241 6484.
The company's working conditions were extremely terrible.
Apparently, some departments require their employees to work at least 300 hours a month. What's even more unbelievable is that the department where the woman who we mentioned before who fainted and died on her way home, apparently they require their employees to work no less than 380 hours a month. And now, just for a reference, typical work hours out here are 40 hours a week, which is a little bit more than 160 hours a month. The consecutive incidents have exposed the insane amount of pressure and stress as well as the difficult living conditions that employees are being faced. This has prompted a new round of public debate on the so-called 996 working hours, which refers to people working 12 hours a day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 6 days a week. Now, although China has labor laws that require workers to work a maximum of 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, the lack of government regulation and the limited job opportunities mean that most companies, especially technology companies, could actually require workers to work overtime without In 2019, Alibaba shared through its official Weixin account what their CEO Jack Ma saw about the 996 working hours. He said, "I think it's a blessing for us people to be able to work 996 in these companies in China today." Now he's pretty much saying that even with these terrible hours, for you to have a job in this competitive job environment is a blessing. Liu Qiangdong, who's the CEO of Jingdong, expressed a similar viewpoint, saying, "At present, fewer and fewer people are working in Jingdong, and more people are so-called collaborating, which will make Jingdong gradually and ruthlessly eliminated by the market. They are not one of us if you sign off." However, Pinduoduo's approach to mandatory overtime for its employees is even worse. One of the core values of Ping is what's called Ping, which essentially means to stick to your job and do what you're supposed to do. In their system, when an employee's monthly working hours reach 300, the internal system will automatically show you have been or congratulations, you stuck to your job. Now, during the 5th anniversary meeting held in October 2020, the CEO of Ping, Guang Zheng, once again mentioned that Benfen is to first figure out your position, what kind of value you're creating and for whom, who you live off of, and what your responsibilities are to the company. Many employees actually believe their own understanding of Benfen, saying it is to follow the rules, to not go out of line, don't talk badly about the company, and working overtime for responsibility. Now, in this week at the company's 5th anniversary, one phone call from all employees to the immense hardcore struggle with massive revenue balance that switching from the original 996 working hours towards 137, meaning from 0 o'clock or midnight to midnight the next day, 7 days a week. So pretty much working 24/7 non-stop. Now, in August of 2020, Clinton began to develop their Roshi Group bonding strategy for bonding. They started testing it out online. How they managed this was each incoming leader was assigned a quota to fill in the number of people they needed to transfer from their old department to the new project. The catch here is each employee's salary adjustment is tied together with this. That means those who are willing to join the project may obtain a salary increase. If they were not willing to go, they would be criticized, transferred to a different department, often with worse working conditions, and they will also lose the opportunity for any pay raises in the future, and some are actually directly forced to resign. You know, in China, you don't really have much power to make choices in these matters. And due to the heavy workload and shortage of staff, the department adopted a bi-weekly system. That is, you would get 1 day off after working 13 days straight. They have, after a while, just simply turned it off and turned it to 0 days off. And if you're working out of the 12 hours per day. Now, apparently, according to social networking platforms, the record holder so far is an employee from the Berkeley department who has worked 30 hours non-stop. The employee we mentioned earlier who suddenly died on December 29, 2020. She belonged to the Berkeley shopping project in Xinjiang. Her nickname was Blue Fei. Because of the unique company culture, employees have been communicating with each other very carefully, mainly using nicknames and avoiding the company Wi-Fi, out of fear that their opinions or complaints would accidentally reach to management and causing them to lose their jobs. Okay, story time. We're going to take a look at the personal experiences of an ex-employee whom we'll refer to here as Li, and the story of her time at the company is Wu Fei. In July 2019, Li and Wu Fei joined King's headquarters in Shanghai as recent graduates in senior training. She and Wu Fei were assigned to the same group, and like all graduates, were rotated into customer service department for months. Right from the get-go, everyone noticed that Wu Fei was an excellent worker. She has a good sense of responsibility and many thanked her for help during the problems. Her customer satisfaction rate was through the roof, and in the examination at the end of rotation, she scored first place out of hundreds of employees. Now, the rule at King headquarters was to start work at 11 a.m. sharp every day. If you're even 1 minute late, you'll lose 3 hours of pay. The company uses a fingerprint attendance machine, so every morning right before 11, everyone would be crowded downstairs, lining up to stand in. There was one time the machine broke down, unfortunately, and everyone was counted late. And since there's no room for negotiation with the company, everyone was got a couple $100. Well, the company says too bad, so sad. From 12 to 1 p.m. is lunch break. There is no cafeteria in the company, and lunch is usually prepared in boxes and delivered to the floor, where employees will pick it up and bring it back to their workstations with lunch. Now, it's worth noting that the company's workstations are very narrow. There are practically no drawers, no storage space, and only enough room for one monitor and keyboard. So they have no choice but to put their lunches on the keyboard to eat. In fact, the place was so narrow that if someone wanted to simply stretch their legs, they would literally take a person to sleep at the workstation in front of them. After Lee left the customer service department, she unfortunately had to work through what's called Double 11 Shopping Festival, or Singles Day, which is considered the largest shopping day in the world. This worked 15 days straight, even worked every day at around 3 to 4 a.m., and was only compensated with 1 single day off afterwards. Now, even in normal times, the average monthly working hours from these departments was 300 hours. and anyone who failed to meet that number was speak to management themselves. So most people literally have to work until 2 a.m. every single day. And most people who work with me were fresh graduates from all kinds of academic backgrounds. In her new department, more than 10 people quit their jobs, including her supervisor. And most of them left because of the insane amount of workload, which in my opinion is the logical thing to do. Now, however, the traumatic experience caused some to be physically and mentally impaired for the rest of their lives. And many people persisted only until they got to get year-end bonus and then just immediately quit. Lee said the single-stage shopping spree made her reach her absolute physical limit. She became extremely sleepy every single day and could barely move, and even on her off days, she only wanted to just lie down. So she said that she literally had to rely on coffee every day to keep going. And at that time, we already wanted to try, but was persuaded not to supervise. However, not long after, she received a notice saying that most of the people in the department were causing almost by the end of the adjustments, but the workload was still the same. So faced with such a threat of being absolutely overwhelmed, Lee finally decided to resign. However, Liu Fei, who joined the grocery shopping project, died not even 1 month in due to being overworked. Now, Chinese media reported that the team that Liu Fei belonged to only had 10 employees, and they had to manage 5 to 6 warehouses and more than 2,000 self-pickup locations. Liu Fei started work every day after lunch. It was the responsibility of finding suppliers, determining goods available, and creating daily product pages amongst others. At 11 p.m., she would transition from the office to the warehouse, where she worked until 6 a.m. the next day, tracking the deliveries and ensuring that all products required were before they home. This means she literally works over 12 hours every day, which is absolutely brutal. After the death of Liu Fei, the company first remained silent. It wasn't until the beginning of January 3rd, 2021, that an anonymous employee first disclosed the news of her death on social media, asking, is there really no one who has the courage to come out and say something? On January 4th, a certified accountant replied on the Q&A website, saying the first thing you need to do is to take a look at the people at the bottom, who isn't exchanging their lives for money. I never thought it was a problem of capital, but a problem of this society. You can choose to live in comfort, but you also have to live with the consequences of comfort. We all do. This post was 30 seconds at least, but it was still screenshotted by some users and was later widely circulated on the internet. Of course, the company denied posting of the response at first. It wasn't only until after the website confirmed it was that the company explained that the post was written by an employee on the personal phone and apologized for the carelessness, but never addressed or answered the question of the possible death, or if the problem was overlooking their employees. Why am I not surprised? This is how a Chinese company has operated since this. In fact, overworking in China has long many years ago. More and more companies are pursuing the so-called social media revealed that another Kuaishou and TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, have also adopted the bi-weekly rotation model. The company Didi have also started the so-called 10127 work model with the same wherever be at work. Meanwhile, some Alibaba employees also say they can't stand working overtime continuously and are ready to quit. Now it seems that the 996 and bi-weekly model have Didi's standard for Chinese working hours. A survey by the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences shows that the average leisure hours of 17 hours per day, less than half of that in the United States and Germany. Meanwhile, the average working hours per week of the Internet Product Operations positions is 47.9 hours, while the average weekly working hours of programmers is 47.5 hours, which is far exceeding the statutory working hours. In addition, the paid annual leave system has not been implemented in China yet. This is not only due to the lack of government regulations, but also due to the fact that China's enormous population causes a shortage in job opportunities, together with the fact that China's economy is in a terrible position. It makes competition extremely fierce. Those young people who have just graduated university are faced with a huge amount of pressure from the real world, and it's difficult to simply keep themselves afloat. In order to survive in this global society, they are forced to choose between either putting up with these conditions or starve. So that's the type of dilemma that people in China, especially younger people, are facing today, and they're powerless to do anything about it. But that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.
December, Maximus they discovered China's spy, also known as The FBI is also going to use to monitor exception with this relation two officials over the one of those targets was a 100 senator, Eric Swalwell. Swalwell, later became a member of the U.S. Congress, was appointed to the House Intelligence Committee. It served as a key point of areas oversight subcommittee, where he was in control of some of the top
Thank you.
Ito po yun?
Pero, back to back yung ID.
Ilan? Tag-iisa lang?
Ang dalawa yung mga.
Tag-dalawa?
Oo.
Dose.
Sana.
12.
Thank you.
Yan. Dito ako.